Last week, about a half an hour before he vetoed much of our compromise on taxes, Governor Branstad's campaign sent out a blast email complaining that, quote, he was under attack. My point today is in response to that email, Mr. President. Governor Branstad, despite your repeated complaints about how much you have sacrificed by leaving your 350,000 plus job as president of Des Moines University to live at Terrace Hill and be paid a sizable chunk, more than $100,000 to be governor, you are not the real victim here. The real victims, the people that should be on your minds, are the hundreds of thousands of middle-class Iowa families. Unlike you, they didn't have a choice when their wages were cut, when their spouse lost their job, and when their children's future prospects were hammered by the greatest recession since World War II. Governor Branstad, it's true that Iowans aren't buying your two-year budget gimmick based on made-up numbers. In fact, they remember the two sets of books you kept during your first term. But Governor, you are not the real victim here. The real victims are low-income Iowans, Main Street businesses, and owners of Iowa's growing businesses. Thanks to your vetoes last week, they got a kick in the pants instead of the tax cuts they need. Governor Branstad, no doubt it is tough when school superintendents, school board members, educators, local business leaders, and parents all across Iowa criticize you for failing to fund our local schools. Nonetheless, you are not the real victim. The real victim are the Iowa students. They'll be stuck in bigger classes with fewer teachers and fewer educational opportunities. The real victims are the thousands of teachers and other school employees, people being fired right now, and those who will lose their jobs in the next 2 years. And the real victims are local property taxpayers who, believe it or not, will pay more for less education. Governor Branstad, despite the fact that Republicans and Democrat lawmakers have rejected your demands for cut in corporate tax rates for out-of-state multinationals, you are still not the real victim. The real victim are the tens of thousands of unemployed Iowans. They will have an even harder time getting back on their feet when you close most of the state's workforce development offices. Governor Branstad, nobody likes a whiner. More to the point, complaining never helped anyone. You are the governor. You need to buck up and accept the responsibility you took when you swore your oath of office. Mr. President, it's time to work together, pull together for Iowa's struggling families, for Main Street businesses, and for Iowa's school children.